What'd she do? What happened?
Girl, it's the stupid election thing. And so I wasn't just mad at that foolishness that was coming out of her mouth, like with full conviction. So I'm just wondering what the hell she did when she went and voted. But I didn't even ask because I didn't want to know, right? But I'm just like, what the?
Welcome to my world with humans and overall.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, you of all people should understand.
I'm surprised by that, but I'm not at the same time. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that would be But I mean, it's it's like you said, as far as not even just her generation, but her geographical experience. Because just like the difference in North and South, it really is survival, but it is a different perspective. Like just like in the South, people think, the yes ma'am and no ma'am is all about being subservient, and it is, but it's about being subservient in order to survive. But the key to that is that literally being your motivation is to survive, because as soon as that direct encounter is over, you have sense enough to think, well, this white motherfucker, I had to do, you're aware that you had to do that to stay alive, but you still have your senses about you. But some people, and specifically in the South, got so ingrained in survival that they just made it a part of their normal real life to be subservient. So they don't even have to think about, oh, let me get on code while I'm in front of this white person. So that way they just always on code and always quote unquote safe. You know what I mean? But when that gets embedded like that into your natural life, and you just go ahead and give up your common sense because it's easier, because it is easier for some people. They don't have to think about it. But the whole thing is, in America, we've been trained not to think for ourselves, and that's why you and I had that conversation about why I was telling you why waking up was so painful, and you were, and I responded, I came back and I said, yeah, but you're strong enough to endure the pain of that awakening. You know what I mean? Some people start waking up and it's too much for them. It's too much to know that they've been all their life lied to about so many important things. So they stay there. And that is a big generational thing as well. So like when we have things like mom, we got two sides, things like mom, and then we have those old black crazy people that we were told were crazy this whole time. And we felt like they was crazy and doing too much. You know what I mean? So it's just like this woman that came out, Jaguar Wright, that's telling all these people's real business in the industry. And, she going for the neck, jugular. She going for Clive Davis. And he he can make all these quote unquote celebrities that everybody has given a platform and a pedestal. And I was like, watch, they're going to try to frame her as crazy because she's saying all this crazy stuff that they did, in those circles behind closed doors. And that's the thing. I talk about that a lot, about how people always claiming to, like, for example, claiming to care about the children, right? But then as soon as they find out one of their favorites has been messing with the children, then everything gets quiet, and it's like, nobody, well, they're talented. That's all you got. Well, they're a genius. They're artists. I'm like, that don't make it okay that they screwing up children's whole rest of their lives. That does not make it okay. But in the way we have been conditioned in this nation, man, and it starts from birth. Like when it comes out the womb, we start on the conditioning. And after I grew up and woke up, I started paying attention to even things like cartoons. They put those innuendos in everything. You just hate to think that it's because because they actually raised us to exercise our common sense, even though they were actually teaching us the thing that the government want them to teach us. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they still raise us to exercise our own free cognitive thought, and we do that. The problem with that is we continue to do that into adulthood, so that we're able to be as adults like, wait a minute, now you remember this thing you told me about such and such. And I understand it because they are listening. They've been listening to their government all this time. You know what I mean? Dad got started, well, from birth he got started. And they had to do this as a means of survival because the 60s were just a different version of 2020. So it's just us going through it again. But you gotta realize, and I realized that a long time ago, and it made me start wondering, and I didn't even bother to ask because, like you, I don't want to know what the answer might be. But it made me wonder for a while. When I was in my 30s, I was like, well, I wonder what my parents were doing while people were in the streets marching and protesting. I wonder what my parents were doing, because I don't think they were out there marching and protesting. They're not those people, and not everybody's going to be. People fight the struggle in their different ways, but some people are fighting the struggle in a way that they think is fighting the struggle, and it's not. What you're doing is sitting at home, which I understand, in the safety of your four walls until it's over. That's what you're doing. And if you're gonna do that, at the very least, don't contribute to the BS by voting crazy, whatever you do. But and for crazy reasons. But those crazy reasons have been indoctrinated. You got to understand how deep cognitive you hear me say that a lot. But cognitive dissonance is a hell of a drug, and it goes so deep. And the best bet is to accept that more than half of people, and I have to say in America because this is where I am, but maybe humankind across the world, but at least half of Americans, because that's what I call us now, Americans, but at least half have been conditioned to be pacified and to go along and get along and to be trusted. And it really makes you question everything. And you just can't question everything with everybody because of how deep the conditioning goes. It's just like people get looked at, now they got a name called anti-vaxxers, that for people that are against vaccination. But nobody's ever saying that that they have every reason to question those vaccinations. Like, it don't even make regular common sense that y'all have even had time to test the stuff. It takes years to make sure something is okay to even, but I also get it because people are in a desperate run to just, just like the flu shot. Who's going to tell people not to take the flu shot, especially if they're of a certain age? Because we've been convinced, we've been taught that young people and old people are more susceptible, and people with pre-existing conditions. But how do we know any of that? You know what I mean? When they tell you, if you get the flu shot and you get the flu, if you get the flu, then it's not as bad as it would have been if you wouldn't have got the shot. How do I know that? There's no way to prove that.
Yeah.
No way in the world, in the whole freaking world, to prove that. And it makes me wonder the vaccinations that we got as young people, what they really did, because, and they could have been protective, you know what I mean? But, it makes me wonder what they really did, because there are certain things, if you think about it, we don't have anymore, or that we have more of that we never had. Like, there are certain diseases and conditions we attributed to older people, diabetes and high blood pressure and stuff. But then after a while, we start seeing our own classmates. There will be a couple of them who had to get insulin shots, But that wasn't never a thing when we were young. Kids wasn't walking around with diabetes, so they had to take their insulin shot. We didn't have like 100. It would be a couple of autistic kids, and they have a whole special classroom for them. But we didn't have no whole bunch of autistic people. Everybody and their mama didn't have ADHD. You know what I mean? Like, y'all making up names for being a kid. So basically, kids' attention span be all over this place because they kids. But we slap a medical condition on it and drug them up with Ritalin. Like, they sent tanks to a lady's house in Detroit because she was 11 when she first, she had mental issues or whatever. So she sent her daughter to get psychiatric help or whatever. So around when she was 12, the body and the psychiatrist, wanted her to get on Ritalin or whatever. Well, the mother did what a mother does, and she researched it, and she was like, I'm not giving my child this poison, right? They tried to take her child from her. So she was like, no. So at this age, the child was 13. They tried to take her child from her. She was like, no. She barricaded up in her house. She had to have guns in her house for them to not get her child. They took tanks, ma'am. And then they found out later that Ritalin and all these medications that they're giving the kids are, deadly, detrimental, all that stuff. But I'm like, I wonder if they ever apologized to her after, because that prompted all the studies to find out, that she was right. So, and I also wonder, like, what if they would have succeeded and took her child from her, poisoned her child, made her take this medication that they decided that she needed. It's crazy. If she didn't care about her child, she sure wouldn't have got her therapy, because that ain't something black parents even do, especially not a single black mother. They'd be like, we're gonna have to work this out, get through it. She ain't gonna spend no time and money to send you to therapy. She sent her to therapy, and they proceeded to want to poison her child. No. But I mean, that's just I'm just, I'm just venting with you about the situation and the circumstances and the fact that, and with our own mother thinking like that. That saddens me, though, because I thought she had, but I can't say I thought that, because I know, we were raised in the church, and I know church is.
No, but here's my issue. It's not even tied to religion or nothing. It's tied to the fact that this woman, her life, like, I'm really irritated. Go ahead.
No, go on. I understand.
She built it. And I get it. like I'm a mother now. About it. Like I feel no guilt.
Yeah. Well, and you even if you had none of that experience, you shouldn't because you give them so much. But you're aware of that, so yeah.
Yeah. No, they have a good life.
No, I'm just saying when you do say no, like even if you didn't have all that experience, you are complete. You have every reason to become comfortable doing that yeah.
Right.
But I understand what you're saying in terms of your support for being good with what your decisions about your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Right. I'll lose that narrow sleep.
We was talking about you the other night. I forgot what we was talking about. I was like, oh, I sound like, oh yeah. It was something crazy, and I was like, oh yeah, every time. He was like, you really go? I was like, oh yeah, that's all me.
Yeah, it takes a lot for me to get to a point where I don't care. But once I don't care, Lisa Ray, she was talking about how it take a while for somebody, to burn, for her to get to a point where she's done with you. But she said you could be on fire. Now I'm not this extreme, but she said you could be on fire, and she said she wouldn't even spit on them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Chicago mentality.
Well, actually, I think she low key related to us somehow. She looked like us. She aging in the.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing.
She's aging in the neck like we do. I was like, she would be that cousin that I would actually hang out with her, but not all the time. We wouldn't be besties out because I would be like, girl, I can't with you. I can't.
Right.
I can't with you. But you crazy though. I was like, my cousin crazy. Her auntie, her sister, all of them. I was like, but I'll watch from a distance, and I fight with her if she ain't at fault. But I ain't got that to worry about because she gonna be at fault every time. I'll be like, I got you, girl. When it ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. I got you. Hold on just a second. Yeah. So I was while we was talking, I was grocery shopping. Anyway. Girl, that's what humanity is right now. So, and it's gonna bring a lot of people's real selves to the surface. Everything that everybody is about to confront, because this ain't even the eye of the storm. Even still, we haven't still even touched the surface. This ain't nothing. You ain't seen nothing, and everybody's everything finna bubble up to the top. And I'm just gonna be chilling because I seen this stuff a long time ago. Once you outnumbered by complacency.
Girl, I just need my mama, my own.
I know.
That's what I need in my life.
But
that's all I need.
But guess what? You don't need that. But I feel like you do, but it's okay. At the end of
I said, no, I mean, if nobody else, I need my mama. That's like my mama.
Girl.
Maybe not your mama, but my mama.
Girl, let me pacify you right quick. Let me be your stand-in. Let your sister be your stand-in mama when you don't have what you need, because you ain't finna get that. It's too...
hold on, let me see it.
Okay, let me know if you need to call me back.
All right. I used to, when I was younger, I used to stick around and tolerate stuff, but as you get older, your patience starts thin. Yeah, you got. I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you. I thought you had been planning out, putting your ducks in a row all year. Well, I'm good. I'm gonna send out energies for you on that then. Thank you, girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tots and pairs. That's what they say now. You know how everybody just send thoughts and prayers like that's gonna do something. So now they put little emojis of a potato for tater tots and a fruit, a pear. They'd be like, okay, I'm sending tots and pears.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even know that. See, I learned something.
No, but I'm sending real energies to you. Real. I claim it for you. Amen.
That'd be my first time in my life.
Okay, it's gonna be your first time. It's yours, sis.
Look, I'm over here like a little kid.
See, you know your sister. People be saying that, but they don't be really feeling. Then they be like, oh my God. Look, last week, I swear to you, this happened this last week, right? I told your brother-in-law, I said, I'm just letting you know right now that I put money energies all in the office, because that's where he keeps his work clothes. All in the office, and all in my all in Cougar's room, because after he passed away, I started using that as a storage room for all my stuff. And when the pandemic hit, I decided I need to sell all my stuff. So I've been trying to sell all my stuff. So I was like, I put money energies all in the office and all in Cougar's room, and I told him all that. And I was like, I'm just letting you know because I feel strongly about this, and I don't want to wait till, because too many times I've done it And then he'll come home and say, yeah, I got this, whatever, this other certain kind of job, or, he won some kind of bonus that they win, they can get a bonus sometimes or whatever, a significant bonus. And so this last time I was like, I don't know why. I was like, but I just want to let you know this time I sprayed the hell out of the rooms today. Girl, he came home talking about something happened. I can't remember what happened, where he got a job, particularly they call a juice job, where it was a big paid job. He also got the bonus that, every quarter they got some bonus where you can, they if your numbers, if everything falls in line, you can win like $800 or whatever. Yeah, I know. It ain't no little bonus. So he had got that he had got cleared to get that bonus. That's not the first time he got it, but the point is, I was just letting him know I sprayed the thing. Something else happened where a few $100s came through. I can't remember what else happened. And then I sold a pair of riding boots. They're not regular riding boots. They're equestrian riding boots. They used to belong to a banker's wife, and her pocketbooks are bigger than her activity, I guess. So they're by a company called Customized Equestrian Boots. But anyway, they're $1,200 boots, and I just sold them for a few $100s. But I needed that damn money, and so sold those boots. And then something else happened, and it all happened that day that I told him that I sprayed, and I was like, you know what? I don't even know to believe in no superstition like that. I was like, but you know what? I'm finna just in case. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Just in case. So I was like, goodness knows I needed that. And it was right at a time. And it was right at a time where we were getting our, because, we've been going to the range, getting ourselves together, making sure we're prepared and what have you. And for his birthday, I actually transferred the money to the joint account for his birthday because I wanted him to get what he wanted, because we want to have a place where we keep everything safe, and if we ever decide to carry, because that's not something I really want to look to do, but if things get bad enough, then it is what it is. And I told him I was so proud of him, because just like you don't want your mama to have certain beliefs or whatever, it gets to everybody. So even with him, I know it's easier to kind of deny, especially he's a good person, he's a good God-fearing man. So he hopes for the best, but at the same time, I told him I was really proud of him because he does hope for the best, that he wasn't turning a blind eye to what's really happening, and that he's staying aware that we need to be prepared in some ways potentially. So I told him, I was like, I'm really happy that because the reality is I love him so much. I would ride with him and act, what I mean? So I'm so glad he's not that person, because, he's out there in the world, and I want him to be protected. You know what I'm saying? Because if they gonna get mine for no reason, because it's gonna have to be for no reason. So if they gonna get mine for no reason, we all going. Sorry. We all going. You just can't. I don't understand how people be so chill. But then I do too, because I do, you know what I mean? Because I be like, oh, another one. Right. At this point. So, and that was the goal, to numb everyone. So, but I'm also fed up. So I hope they, try the right one. And also, it's all narrative too, because you can best believe they not showing all the cases where black people are sick of white people, and they floor them on site. Right. It's more than a couple of white people getting knocked out right now. But the narratives have to stay. They can't show that part. Right. It's kind of like they show black people being murdered on social media all day, but if something happens to a person, you get the warning, the warning, trigger warning before you click this sensitive viewer warning. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Because they just got knocked out. You actually murdered one of us, a uniform person, and we get to see every bit of that. We get to watch all the blood spill. Oh, okay. I see what you did there. Normalize that. Why don't you? Because if you think about it, even when they get around thugs, and you see a Karen busting up a child's ghetto birthday party, it's a reason why Karen is not scared. A supposedly feeble white woman should be scared running up into a group of black people talking mess. You know why she not? Why? 'Cause, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. See how much longer a white person lasts rolling up in a gang meeting than if a black person be like, hey, what y'all doing in here? Man, they will tear that sucker apart. But the white person, they'll tear him apart, but they're going to think twice first. They're going to be like, who is this? Is this a judge's daughter? Is this a politician? Might not ought to hurt this white person. I don't know who they related to. You know what I mean? Ain't no worries about that with us. Because whoever we related to, it ain't going to be powerful enough to change their life. Right. But, yeah, child. Whenever your mama don't give it to you, Call your sister and I'll play mama for you.
All right. Let me tell you something. For the first time in my life, I almost jumped up to the phone.
It almost got done.
I think I kind of blacked out a little bit.
What did she say when you responded? Like, what did she say to your?
No. It was a back and forth thing. We were kind of. Girl, okay. But thank you anyway. I need to finish this analysis, but I appreciate it.
You're welcome, honey. And I'm gonna send you a link of this girl. She was just talking in front of her the Kansas City Council or whatever. It was a young girl too. Man, she read every last person on that panel for filth. Read them, each one by name. I'm gonna send it to you. It's hilarious. Yeah, she's like, first of all, she's like, I need y'all to stop using black children for photo ops because in 10 years that black child is gonna be a suspect. And then she said, and you such and such, she called him by name. You love Donald Trump so much that you hired his lawyer to. She went in all their back pockets. It was wonderful. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go and get this stuff together. Cause you need to make sure you got you together for your new job that you finna get to have to choose from.
Yeah. What am I missing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
All right.